record. I'm going to share my screen and we'll get this thing rolling here. And 2 seconds, I'll play the show from the start. Excellent. Well, hey, on behalf of Binnie and myself, I want to welcome you guys to the call. What we're trying to do here is Binnie and I had talked about maybe doing this monthly, where we would do a monthly call that we would talk about various Sunrider foods and kind of anything of interest to new people coming on or folks that are already part of the group that we can share with everyone. And one of the things I need to do before we get started, if you don't mind, is there is a little bit of disclaimer that I like to read just to protect Sunrider and everything. None of the information provided in this presentation is intended to represent the diagnosis or cure of any illness or disease. So now we got the legalities part of it. Just to give you a little background, because again, Fabi, Julia, you don't know who I am. I've been around Sunrider for almost 30 years in terms of a product consumer. My Sunrider journey did start almost 30 years ago, and it was through a lady named Rachel Jill who heard me complaining one day at the gym, and through her kindness, she shared with me a box of Fortune Delight, which is one of the products we're going to talk about tonight, and that really started me on my Sunrider journey. And again, it was through her selflessness, paying attention and listening to me at the gym that started me on this path, which 30 years later, by just kind of sharing with other people, kind of like we're doing today, working with my leaders, again, like Binnie and Yana and others that are part of my group, and again, listening for people's needs and trying to identify and share with them this opportunity. We've built the Sunrider organization that spans the globe and actually is one of the strongest organizations in Sunrider today. So I thank Rachel Jill every single day of my life that she shared this opportunity with me. One of the things that Binnie and I both thought it might be important to start with tonight, and again, not knowing you, Fabi, and not knowing you, Julia, I mean, we've never met before. One of the things that we've realized, though, that because of COVID-19 and everyone kind of being in lockdown mode and working from their homes, why somebody should consider this business model and why now, I think, is going to be pretty obvious. But the fact is, Sunrider is considered an essential business. They produce all natural whole food products that support the entire body, including the immune and the respiratory system. Certainly, now that we're all still kind of in lockdown mode, a lot of people have been looking for more opportunities to work from their home. One of the things I love about Sunrider is that I can be my own boss. I can work the hours I want to, and I can work with people that I want to work with. Certainly, one of the things Sunrider does is it provides some security of income. I mean, part of what our business opportunity does is it allows us to develop residual income through the principles of both duplication and leverage, which we can talk about another time. Again, one of the things I love about the opportunity is the community I get to work with. We all tend to be kind of like-minded people. I mean, if we're involved in Sunrider, we've had some need of health or wellness or, the need for some additional income. And I know certainly as I've talked to people over the last 3 months, people that didn't want to pay attention to the business opportunity before, some of them have lost their jobs. Some of them have been furloughed. Some of them are looking now for another source of income. So again, just through sharing with like-minded people, the ideas of health and wellness, we're helping people. And again, one of the things that I've certainly recognized myself is home-based businesses like Sunrider. I mean, they do require us to be responsible and take 100% responsibility for our own success. Again, like in any business, the more action we take, the more successful we are. And again, for me, one of the things I love so much about being part of this community and working with a group of people is the fact that we're in business for ourselves, but we're not in business by ourselves, which I think is critical right now. Sunrider, 38 years of being in business. It's extremely stable. They operate in over 50 countries around the world, obviously, including Australia, which allows people like us to really have an international business. And again, I think I've said this 5 times already on this short period of time, but one of the things I love about this business is I travel around the world a couple times every year. I get to interact with cultures and people in different countries. And again, it's one of the things that I really love. The next point here is that Sunrider internally handles 100% of all the research and development and manufacturing of all their products. And why that was important to me is my corporate background prior to being involved with Sunrider was in the pharmaceutical industry. And there are a lot of companies out there that just take a recipe for a product. They will hand it off to a third party and say, make my product for me. So they have no control over what goes on. Again, Sunrider has 100% control of all the research, development, and manufacturing of over 400 of the world's finest whole food nutritional foods, cleansing beverages, weight management, sports and fitness, green household, and all natural skincare and cosmetics. And one of the things that's important to me is they're all manufactured right here on your screen. Now, this is a picture, of course, of our 1 million square foot privately owned manufacturing facility in Los Angeles, California, which is where all of my products in the United States come from and all of your products there in Australia come from. So again, I thought it was important just to show you folks that, again, Sunrider controls all aspects of manufacturing. And if you ever get a chance to come to a Sunrider convention in the United States and tour this facility, it's truly phenomenal. And there's just one last thing I'll share, and then we'll get to the real point of the presentation today. But coming from the pharmaceutical industry, you need to understand there's a couple of different ways that the United States looks at companies like Sunrider. And for us, they require us to produce under what they call a food grade license. I want to share with you guys that Sunrider chooses to manufacture under the higher standard, the very highest standard, which is pharmaceutical grade standards, which is what I was used to. That's one of the things that impressed me so much about Sunrider. They didn't want to kind of work here at this level. They wanted to work up here at this level, okay? And what that really means is you will never find a higher quality product than what you're going to find from Sunrider. Enough of that stuff. One of the things that as Sunriders you will become and you'll learn more about, and I just wanted to touch on tonight, is Sunrider produces all of their foods under what we call our philosophy of regeneration. And I could spend probably an hour on this very topic alone, but I'll just simply share with you what that means. Is it's basically 4 principles. Sunrider produces all whole food. There are no chemicals or isolates in Sunrider food. We produce under the principle of variety, which basically says that, you know, when you look at quality food, you want a variety of food every day that you put onto your body, not just one thing or 2 things, but a wide variety. And I'll share examples as we kind of carry on here. The other thing Sunrider does is in their manufacturing processes, they've developed a process that allows them to extract and concentrate these foods beyond anything in your wildest imagination. As an example, a lot of times it takes up to minimum of 10 pounds. A lot of times much more of that Sunrider brings in as raw materials in terms of their herbs. And they concentrate that down into something that we would find in one of our products that we eat today. And the idea of expertise in the formulation, that's one of the things that the founders of Sunrider really bring to the table, is an expertise not only in herbs, but also in formulation, the concentration, the variety of creating these whole food-based product for us. So with that said, I'm going to kind of move on here because what we wanted to talk about today was what we call our foundational foods, okay? And by that, it's what we refer to as our NBCs, or our Nourish, Balance, and Cleanse foods. And before Binnie and I in particular start talking about these kind of 5 things we've identified to share with you tonight in terms of the foods, one of the things that I've always believed in, and part of it is coming from a martial arts background, okay? Oops, sorry, I jumped ahead a little bit there, is the fact that, what do we have, like 30 trillion cells in our bodies, right? And each of those cells are really an electrical generator. And to be healthy, they all need to be nourished and cleansed, which in large part we control with our diet. And really, I've always believed that everything we put into our mouths either makes an energy deposit towards regeneration or an energy withdrawal towards degeneration. All of these foods are regeneration type foods, okay? And there's kind of the setup to talk about. When we talk about nourish, balance, and cleanse, I want to start with the cleansing products, which are two things, Fortune Delight and Cali. And Binnie, I'm going to turn to you for a second. I mean, I've been talking for the last, 10 minutes here. Tell us a little bit about Fortune Delight. I mean, you can read the bullet points. You can give us a testimony. What would you
Yeah,
say about Fortune Delight that you think people need to hear?
I'll just tell from my experiences.
Please.
So do I put myself onto the screen or just leave it? No.
You're on the screen, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Starting with the cleansing process, I always suggest to people who have no idea of concentration in whole foods to start on the cleansing process. Because if you do not cleanse your body, whatever high concentrated food you put in, it will not be absorbed by the body system, because you need to cleanse the body first of all the toxins and isolated stuff that's in there. So we always start with Kelly or Fortune Delight. Depending on preferences, Kelly is more, like a lot of people know Kelly like a tea, right? They're used to like tea. But the thing is, Kelly is a herb beverage, and whatever herbs that are used is sprayed onto camellia leaf, which is a base for holding the enzymes from the nutrients that's the herbs that are sprayed on it. So when you put hot water on it, then it dissipates out, and we just remove the tea bag, because the camellia leaf is slightly bitter if you leave it in there. Some people like to leave it in there, but it has a very bitter taste. So we always recommend after 4 minutes of it being in the hot water that we remove the tea bag. And what it does, it helps cleanse the system. It clears the cobwebs from your brains, and you start the day afresh with that. Yeah. Fortune Delight in itself is actually another form of cleansing, but it's in the powdered form. So the powdered form itself helps also to cleanse cellularly. It goes right into the cells with Fortune Delight. So that's the cleansing process. And then, of course, after cleansing, you need to sort of nourish your body. Right.
Before you go on to the nourishment part, there's a couple of things I wanted to interject real quick. Binnie, right on. Great explanation of both of those products. Personally, I kind of look at Fortune Delight and Cali as complementary products to each other. As Binnie said, they all basically start out with a highly concentrated solution that's either sprayed on the leaf and used in a tea bag, like in Cali, or in the case of Fortune Delight, dried and then comes in a sachet that you can put in a glass of water or whatever you want to do. And Binnie, you touched on it yourself. With Cali, I've always looked at it as kind of a way to kind of clear the cobwebs from the brain. You know, it really gets you, without being caffeinated, it really kind of clears up the brain and the mental focus, where for me, Fortune Delight, I've always kind of personally used it as to rehydrate. It's extremely hydrating for the body. Again, coming from a martial arts background and really severe workouts, and I suspect this is, Binnie, something your husband would testify to as well. I had run into times where I would build up lactic acid in the muscles, and again, Cali truly, or I'm sorry, Fortune Delight really flushes out the lactic acid. Yes. It flushes out the fat. Fortune Delight is something that we recommend to people all the time if they're looking at a weight loss product or they're looking for a weight loss regime. We always say start with Fortune Delight because it truly does flush the fat out of the body. Again, no sugars, artificial ingredients, chemicals of any times, loaded with polyphenols and antioxidants. Again, these are truly remarkable products. And Binnie, like you, I usually start people off that are brand new to Sunrider with either Fortune Delight or Cali, just so they can experience what we're talking about here. So thank you. Great stuff there. Oh, the other thing I would say about Cali, and you were probably going to touch on it, Binnie, is Cali comes in a few different flavors. There's the original, there's the mint, there's the cinnamon. but it also comes in a Cali Night formula, which is extremely relaxing. That's a formula that was developed, again, to really help you relax. And a lot of times after a long day, doing meetings all day long, etc., karate classes in the evening, this is something that I always sit down and just kind of chill out with at the end of a long day. Binnie, I'm going to turn back to you for a second here, because the next thing, if it's okay with you, that I'd kind of like to jump into is our sweetener, which is Sunnydew, which is an all-natural stevia-based sweetener. And, you know, Binnie, you had mentioned Cali can be kind of bitter if you leave the tea bag in sometimes.
Yes.
I don't like sugar, okay? I think sugar is one of the worst things we could really put in our body. And our stevia product is completely different than sugar. It is sugar-free. It's no chemicals or preservatives, 0 calories. And one of the things that you need to understand about the Sunrider stevia is you could go to the store today, the grocery store, and you could probably find a stevia product that actually is produced by either Coca-Cola or Pepsi, of all things, okay? And one of the things that those companies did in terms of isolating the stevia when they get it is they've only isolated the part that tastes sweet. Sunrider has isolated all of the benefits of the stevia plant, okay? And it's combined with chrysanthemum. Again, very sweet tasting. It's like 400 times sweeter than sugar. So all you need to use is a little tiny bit, but it has that great flavor, but it also nourishes the body. My sister is a type 2 diabetic. It's really important for her to control her insulin. Sunnydew and Sun Nectar, our 2 stevia products, actually nourish the pancreas. So they naturally, again, through nourishing the body, support a healthy body, insulin production naturally in the body. Binnie, anything else you'd add about stevia that you think is important for them to hear?
Yes, because can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, because I have been asked questions many times. What's the difference between the stevia, the Sunnydew, and the Sun Nectar?
Perfect.
The difference I could tell physically is the color. You see, the color in stevia is dark colored, and the Sunnydew is the white colored liquid. So, but the thing is, they perform the same the same way, right? In their benefits and when people use them.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I should have probably expanded the slide a little bit here. There is another product Binnie was referring to, which is our Sun Nectar. What do they call it in Australia? Is it still Sun Nectar in Australia?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
It does. Sometimes there's different names in different countries, but it's basically the same. It's a darker color. It has a little bit more of a licorice flavor to it, in my opinion. And it's really it's a raw form versus a more refined, which is the Sunnydew. But both of them are exactly the same. They're both whole food, 0 calories, highly concentrated, no chemicals or preservatives, sugar-free, rich in antioxidants. Fabulous, fabulous products if you're looking for a sugar type alternative, if you like sweet, okay, and what you deal with. So that kind of finishes the cleansing part, okay? Binnie, New Plus, let's talk a little about the nourish part now.
Yeah, this is again through my 30 over years of experience with that. The New Plus itself, you need, after cleansing, you need to nourish your body, right? You need to nourish your body where the areas are damaged, where the cells are damaged. So nourishing it with New Plus is a fantastic way of using foods in itself, Sunrider foods. They come in 5 flavors, I think 4 or 5 flavors. They've got mixed berry, they've cinnamon, they got the apple, which is called the naturally plain, I think. And then, of course, just simply herbs. Just simply herbs itself has no other flavors except the food herbs they put in there. Okay, so there's peanut banana too for people who want to have a fruity flavor. So
my personal favorite, by the way. Just
peanut banana, and it's always nice to add in more fruits. Add in another banana, or chunks of pineapple or watermelon to go into it, just for a great sort of a morning shake, morning breakfast by itself, because what it does, it helps. It contains all the fatty acids, amino acids, which you need to start your day with, right? So we will just need you to do the demonstration later on, okay, Mac?
Yeah, that's coming up actually.
I'll just let them know about the benefits of New Plus and how it is just an instant meal by itself, actually. So we've got more advanced nutritional products itself, more advanced ones like the Vita Shake, or I don't know what they call over in your country. We call it Vita Delight here.
Delight.
So yeah, different countries, they call it differently. And those are more advanced sort of nutritional shakes in a New Plus, which is a form of New Plus, but it's contains highly concentrated food herbs in itself too. So in itself, it makes a meal, right? The shake, you probably will look at it as a snack. But if you think you want to make it as a meal, then you add in 2 sachets or add in extra fruits and nuts and whatever you feel your little heart desire to add all that in to give yourself the fullness to start the day with. So that will help. New Plus, it's the part that sort of helps to regenerate. So once you nourish your body, you have to look at the balancing part of it, right?
Okay, couple comments just on New Plus for myself too.
Yeah, I'd like you to talk about that because,
I don't want to go into again because it'll take too long, but one of the things that's important as you look at a healthy cell within your body is the ratio of potassium to sodium. And most foods that you purchase at the supermarket today are going to have the opposite effect. Or if you're eating burgers out or pizzas or that kind of stuff, it's going to be just the opposite. The sodium is going to be much higher than the potassium. New Plus is a food that's extremely high in potassium compared to the sodium content. It is a whole food, just like Binnie said. And again, there's a number of varieties. People eat it so many different ways. I eat it right out of the bag a lot of times. Some people like the picture here too, they'll make their porridge or their oatmeal and they'll put it on top of that, just added nutrition. Some people use it in shakes, which is something I'll share with you guys in just a few minutes. But again, this is a fabulous food, and it's something that we recommend that everyone considers in terms of the nourish part of that nourish balance. And Binnie, as you say, or nourish and cleanse. Now we can talk a little bit about the balance. One of the things I love to share about Quinary, which is the product that we're going to be talking about here, is Dr. Chen, the founder of Sunrider, developed the product Quinary to really address the 5 key systems of the body: endocrine, digestive, respiratory, circulatory, and immune. And when I was talking earlier about the philosophy of regeneration, I mentioned the term variety. This product is a perfect example of that because within Quinary, you have over 52 different herbs, plants, and flowers that make up this entire formulation. And one of the cool things about Quinary is you can consume them all in a single product, or the company's also developed individual formulas. And again, I'm sorry, this is a slide that I use here in North America. For you guys, Prime again is called what? PA. Assimilate is what? AS?
AD.
Lifestream is what?
LS.
Alpha 20?
Alpha 20 is the same.
Perfect. In Conco, the same, right?
Yeah.
Okay. One of the things that I would actually ask you guys to picture in your mind is a picture of maybe a carriage being drawn by 5 horses, okay? And the simple example here is if you find that one of your horses is lagging behind, let's just say you're having issues with your digestive system, you can purchase AS, whatever it is there, okay? And you can feed that particular system if you find that you're getting out of balance in one particular way. Now, personally, I like to consume Quinary because it addresses all 5 systems. But there are times like right now, I mean, what is everybody most concerned about with COVID? the strength of their immune and their respiratory systems, all right? So every day in my shake, which again, I'll show you in a second, a little video I did, I add extra alpha-20C in Conco because I want to address my immune system and my respiratory system and give them extra energy, if you will, okay, by putting extra in there. So again, the point is all of these 5 things together make up our quinary. And the great thing about quinary, again, is it, well, at least here in the United States, it comes in both capsule form and sachets. You guys have both forms there too, yes?
We don't have it in capsules.
Oh, no capsules. Okay, so just the sachets?
No, it comes in powdered form. It
Perfect.
comes in single bottles, but in powdered form. I mean, that is due to the TGA, I think, because of that.
Yeah.
Then you've got it in the sachet, the quinary, and we also have the liquid form in the bottle of 10.
Liquid 5.
Call it the liquid 5.
Perfect. Making it very easy to consume, either in a powder or a liquid form, as Binnie shared.
Yeah. And if you want to have to address certain areas of your body, then you put up the powdered ones together with the quinary. That's what I do. Like with this COVID time, I just use the liquid 5, and then I'll just add in the alpha-20C. And for maximum digestion, I add in the AD. And if I feel that my circulation is compromised, then I'll add in the LS. Because this 5 system, it takes a very long time to sort of talk about it, but we just talk briefly about it as being the 5 systems of the body, how the quinary addresses. Yeah.
Absolutely. And, one last comment before we move on. I know for myself, being in my 60s, as I've grown older, my wife is basically the same age. There are times where your systems change, endocrine in particular, the hormones start changing, etc. Here again, PA, or Primogen, as we call it, is something that you consider as you're finding any of these systems coming out of balance. So again, incredible products, all whole foods, no isolates, no chemicals, all right, within any of these things. Now, here's what Binnie was talking about. She wanted me to put this in here, and I'm happy to do so because it's a very quick video. If you don't mind, I'll just play it for you guys. But I just want to show you, these are products that I use every single day in my home as well. So here we go.
Well, hello, everyone. This is Mac Atkinson coming to you from my kitchen in beautiful Tucson, Arizona. Being kind of trapped inside for the last few weeks, as many of us have, I have noticed that I haven't been getting as much exercise, and I've gained a couple of pounds during this period of time. So my new go-to shake is our Sun Trim Shake, mainly because it's different from all the other Sun Trim shakes in that the key ingredient is Garcinia fruit, which has been used for thousands of years to help control the appetite and to support a healthy metabolism. So what I do every morning is I take a fresh banana, I'll take a small orange. I like the little combination of frozen fruit that I could get from Costco, so I'll dump that in. In goes the Sun Trim Shake, which has a wonderful chocolate flavor, by the way.
Or New Plus,
I
or
also
Vita
like
Delight.
my Mixed Berry New Plus, so I'm going to put one of those in just for a little added nutrition. And because, again, we're trying to build our immune system and respiratory systems with everything going on in the world, I like to add in an extra sachet of alpha-20C, a couple of capsules of Conco, and then, of course, my packet of quinary, which deals with all of the 5 key systems of the body. We brew up a little Cali and Fortune Delight ahead of time, which we call our Temple Tea. I'll add that in as my base liquid. Put the top on and hit the blender for a second. Okay, so we're all blended up. I'm just gonna pour it off on my little glass here, and let's give it a try.
Yes.
Delicious and to your health. And since this is a Sunrider challenge, Bob and Donadera, show me your favorite shake.
one of the things we've been doing is a little challenges back and forth with each other to create these videos. And I have to apologize. This was a video I actually did at the beginning of the COVID thing, and it's really one of our weight loss shakes. But again, you saw I put New Plus in there. You can, most of the time for me, it's not the Sun Trim Shake anymore because I was able to lose those couple of pounds, but it's usually one New Plus and one Vita Delight, and that's what I do. Every single day is my shake. Sometimes it's the morning, sometimes it's my meal replacement for lunch, but every day I have my Sunrider foods. And again, I just wanted to share that with, just let you know, this is not just talk. We eat these foods every single day, okay? So that was that part. Kind of coming to a bit of an end here. There's 3 ways that people can join Sunrider. You can join as a retail customer, doesn't cost anything to do so. Purchase at Sunrider's competitive retail prices. You can join as a preferred customer. And what's the cost to join as a preferred customer in Australia, Binnie? Do you remember?
It's $30.
Okay, $30. You get a discount from Sunrider on all of your products, that kind of thing. Or you can join, which is typically what I recommend to people, as an IBO. And the cost of a starter pack for an IBO in Australia is what, Binnie? $59. What that does is it gives you the complete business pack with all the information, but more so than anything else, it allows you then to share Sunrider with others and build the business. It opens up the incomplete compensation plan to you. So again, if there's any interest at all in sharing Sunrider with family, friends, or people that you meet, I always suggest people that they consider the IBO route. But again, that's totally your choice. As we talk to people about basics and what they can start with in terms of products, again, most of the things we've talked about today is right here in the Sun Pack, okay? It's the quinary, it's the New Plus, it's the stevia, it's the Cali, it's the Fortune Delight. And in addition, one of our really great products, fruit and vegetable rinse, which we'll talk about on another call. But this is a great way for people to start if you want to begin. And you know, I did a similar presentation to this here in North America with some of our group earlier today. And we have basically the same pack here in the US. And what it really came out to, I did some math, and it really works out to somewhere under like $10 a day. And, you know, what I always recommend to people is I tell them, you know, don't think of this as extra money you have to spend. What I suggest to people is you take some of the same money you're spending every month at the supermarket and the drugstore and reinvest that in superior products that are really based on your health, you know? And again, I mean, what is your health worth to you? I certainly can give up a Starbucks coffee or a, gosh forbid, McDonald's sandwich or something like that. And again, take that same money and replace that into a healthy alternative. The shake I just made is a great example of that, for under $10 a day. So this is just an example. Obviously, I mean, we all have our preferences. Maybe it's just Fortune Delight. Maybe it's just Cali. Maybe it's a combination of the things we've talked about, but Sunrider offers all combinations of things. You can pick whatever you want in terms of what works best for you, your budget, your particular needs, and how you want to begin. But that's just a suggestion. And one of the things that I'd kind of like to end with, and Yana's probably eating a New Plus right now, you know, knowing her, I can see you there. There you go. You know, I always ask people, I mean, to think about, what is it that has you looking at Sunrider right now? I mean, what is it that's kind of changed in your life that has you looking at these things? Are you brand new to Sunrider like you two ladies are? Do you want to, you know, generate enough income to pay for the Sunrider food? Do you want make a little extra money for your home? Are you just, you know, somebody that wants to get healthier? And if that's the case, that's great. Again, we always suggest become what we call a product of the product. Start your path of regeneration, higher frequency, shopping in your own health food store, which is really what Sunrider is. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I'm trying to remember, what's your big supermarket chain there? Woolies, and what's the other one?
Coles.
Kohl's. Okay. I don't.
Aldi.
Okay.
We also have Costco's and Aldi and.
Okay.
Those
Sure.
are
Well, you know, I've been to Australia. I've never had Kohl's or Woolies send me a check at the end of the month for buying from them. Okay. Sunrider does. You start buying with Sunrider, you start consuming these foods, you'll start earning bonuses from the company. You'll get retail sales bonuses back. So again, why not shop in your own personal health food store? There's so many ways that we can share Sunrider today. I mean, prior to COVID, I always used this approach. I like the idea of building relationships, talking to people about, you know, their family, their occupation, identifying what their needs may be, so I can be in integrity when I share Sunrider as a potential solution for them. Today, it's all about virtual meetings and virtual meetups, you know? So again, as much as we can connect with people virtually, and again, I'm going to come back to that thing I said before about you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Binnie, I hate to speak for other people, but I think it's fair that I can speak for you and me in this case. If there's any way that Binnie and I can help you, Julia, and doing virtual meetings, sharing with people that you know, let us know. We'll be here to help you. That's part of the support structure you have. And I mean, Yana's been a 30+ year Sunrider too. I haven't really included you, Yana, because I know you were kind of here to listen in, but you know, we all have our Sunrider stories and our Sunrider experiences. So let us know how we can be of help to you, okay? And again, you know, thank you for spending this last 45 minutes with us. Information, reach out to Binnie, reach out to me. I mean, there's ways that you can contact us. A couple of things I didn't share here. We have a dedicated Sunrider website called the Fusion Network. I'm happy to provide that link to you, or Binnie can send it to you. It's product information, business information, general information, all kinds of things to help you in terms of your Sunrider knowledge and sharing with others. And again, one of the things that Binnie and I want to do is each month we want to create one of these videos. This one was on the foundational foods. I need to talk to Binnie, but maybe next month we're talking about the immune, the respiratory system, and things that are really respective to COVID and what we're dealing with now, and in terms of being locked in, stress release, you know, that kind of stuff, things like that. So again, let me, if I may, I'm going to, in the presentation, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, if I can figure out how to do that one more time.
we're all learning.
Here, bring back my controls. Where did they go? I'm going to move us over here. Oh, here we go. Stop share. Perfect. And